We often depart from churches prematurely and due to improper motivations. We tend to give up when we face discomfort and challenges. While valid reasons like heretical doctrine or corrupt leadership may justify leaving a church, there are also less justifiable, common, yet ultimately detrimental factors that drive people away from their churches. Here are 7 reasons why people are leaving church. 1. You are irritated by other churchgoers. One of the most countercultural and hard characteristics of the Christian church is that it brings together people from quite different backgrounds. This is what the gospel accomplishes. This means you'll almost certainly be worshiping alongside folks you'd never choose to contact with otherwise. This can be embarrassing and irritating, but don't let this cause you to quit and look for another church full of people like you. This undermines the gospel's ability to equalize and unite across natural dividing boundaries, as we see in Galatians 3. 2. Your cause is not well supported. Many people leave churches after pitching an idea or embarking on a crusade to create a program that fails. Perhaps the church leadership flatly refuses to support your cause, or perhaps there is simply a lack of enthusiasm among the congregation. That's okay. Don't go looking for another church to run with your notion. Instead, why not stay and observe what existing initiative is already gaining traction in the church, and then get behind it. 3. The worship style is not your preference. Frustration with worship is a major reason individuals leave churches, whether it's because of too loud or too soft music, too topical or too expositional preaching, or a variety of other mismatches to one's laundry list of interests and preferences. But it doesn't have to be that way. Worshiping outside of one's comfort zone and stylistic preference can be beneficial, cultivating humility and making worship more about God rather than our own consumer needs. 4. A hip new church has opened nearby. This is something I see all the time. People go to church and are all in for a short period of time, perhaps a year or 2. But eventually, the thrill fades off. They become bored. A new, well-branded church opens nearby, complete with a snazzy podcast and a prominent worship leader, and the bored person quietly goes to sample the new taste in town. What makes this a terrible idea? Because the cycle will go on indefinitely. The trendy church of today will always be the dull church of tomorrow. 5. Your favorite pastor has resigned. This is a common reason for leaving a church. In many churches, there are significant personality cults. Celebrity pastors with platforms and book agreements naturally attract large numbers to their congregations. When they depart, the throngs usually follow. However, putting your church experience in one pastor's presence, no matter how vibrant, is harmful. A church is much more than just its pastor. 6. Your heart simply isn't in it any longer. People who have left a religion frequently tell me that their heart just isn't in it anymore. They are simply going through the motions. Going to church feels forced, legalistic, and unauthentic. As a result, they come to a halt. However, as authentic as these feelings are, they are not a good excuse to abandon a church. Why? Because every relationship and commitment in life has seasons when one's heart isn't as in it as it was at the start. But this is typical, and there is no reason to give up. 7. Sunday services don't really offer much. Speaking of a church service in terms of what I got out of it has become the standard. We might ask one another, what did you get out of the sermon? After church, for instance. However, this stance is really church-appropriated materialism. It frames the church in terms of what it can offer, so when it no longer offers obvious takeaways or meaningful experiences, we find an excuse to quit. However, the purpose of a church ought to be to give, not to receive. How we provide service. How the body is constructed. Hope you found this video valuable and informative. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and ring the notification bell so you won't miss any of our future videos. God bless.